This is your announcer, Shannon Saint Mainframe, welcoming you to our IP Livecast. My sources tell me Noah was in town this week and met the Livecast crew for dinner last night. I guess she forgot to invite your girl Shannon. Just remember, Noah, there's a special place in hell for women who don't invite other women to succulent Italian meals. Our IP Livecast starts now.
I'd like to make a correction to Shannon there. She is not a girl. She is a computer-generated AI that reads announcements for the RIP Livecast podcast.
Who are you to tell Shannon what she is and isn't?
Just saying. We designed her subroutines, so we should know. We are, in fact, her creators.
Wow, very possessive way to kick off the RIP Livecast. Welcome.
I'm a grammarian. I'm very dedicated.
It is Saturday, September 17th, and you are with us live in Technicolor Daddy. Thank you for joining us.
Rob, it's not technically telecolor.
And of course, if you ever want to send us your feedback, we'd love to hear it. riplivecast@gmail.com is our email address to send us your emails and voice memos and such. You can also send some lovely words to Sid's kitty.
Ziggy hanging out.
Hanging out in the shot.
We'll see how long he could put up with my noise.
Baby Bob goes back here on the couch, and I was like, oh, maybe she'll pop in. But then she went under the ottoman. It's over.
She popped out.
But you can hang out with us every Saturday around noonish. And make sure to check our socials to make sure we don't go on a little later. The socials are, of course, RIP Livecast. Universally, virtually. Just search for it. It's Rob here with Sid and Darren. Hello. And as Shannon so eloquently put during her little moment in the sun, we did see former Livecast host and producer Noah yesterday. It was lovely. It was great to see her. She was in town visiting, seeing some friends, seeing some pets. And we got some good Italian food out of it.
Yeah.
Any highlights for you guys?
The food. I was sort of at a distance from Noah and Avi, so I was basically just talking with Darren the whole night. Me and Darren had like the most old New York conversation possible.
Colonoscopies and sports.
Yeah. Just complaining about Met stuff and sharing colonoscopy stories. It is great. It's nice to have someone you can relate to on so many different levels.
Sure.
You're the too much tuna guys now.
Except there was too much pasta because we're an Italian restaurant. But other than that, it really was the right amount of pasta, I have to say. I did not get a food coma.
I agree.
It was a nice big bowl, nice plating, but not overkill.
You also smartly didn't eat your dessert. I did, so that's when I started to feel a little queasy.
Oh, the dairy got you going. Well, I guess you already had dairy with the sauce. There's probably some crema in the sauce. Oh, and you had the Parmesan fritters.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
Look
already
at you remembering everything I ordered. Jeez.
Yeah.
I mean,
food is easy to remember. Got?
What did I get?
Darren, did you get the garlic bread appetizer?
Are you checking your notes? No, I did not.
No, I don't have any notes. You got like some sort of toast with cheese on it. I remember. I don't remember what it was exactly.
I will credit you, Rob, with that answer because it did look like garlic bread. So I'm going to say your memory was correct. You just didn't correctly.
I don't know exactly what it was. So what was it that you got?
It was called pane parmesan, and it was like a soft breadsticks coated with mozzarella cheese and probably some other cheese blend.
Okay, so a heavy dairy appetizer, and then I don't remember. I don't quite remember actually your entree.
It was just spaghetti with white cream sauce. It was not Alfredo, it was some other kind of cream sauce, but I don't quite remember what the name.
So you were staying in the starch and dairy combo family for your appetizer and your entree.
I think it had goat cheese in it. There's some kind of shredded goat cheese on the top.
Technically a vegetarian meal. No meat in it.
I'm trying to do that like maybe once a week, not always successfully, but I'm aiming for once a week to do one vegan or vegetarian meal. And when I do, I feel better. Like I sort of the next day, I feel like I have more energy and I'm not dragging. But it's just it goes the other way. Like if I've ever done that more than once in a week, I feel like I'm jonesing for meat. So I can't really it doesn't have the full effect of if I continue on. I have to do it in little bursts.
For me, it's the bigger priority is avoiding dairy than avoiding meat. I find that my body, as I approach 40, my body is telling me, Rob, cut down on the dairy. Other than ice cream. Ice cream is the one thing I will. My body's
non-dairy ice cream.
This is fine.
I do love.
I like sorbet. I don't like the vegan ice creams though.
I don't know if you like Cool Whip, but there's a great non-dairy Cool Whip that's made out of coconut. Cocoa Whip.
Okay, I could do coconut is a fine substitute. I feel.
So
I haven't tried. I'm curious about oat milk ice cream because I do like. I've replaced dairy milk with oat milk in my day-to-day coffee consumption. It's actually quite good. I really like it. It's good. Sid, have you tried it?
Yes, once or twice. I don't like it.
It's fine.
I don't remember which brand. Maybe Oatly.
Oatly's the one that advertises everywhere.
Yeah.
Dusty Words Muffler asks soy milk, and my response is I cannot. My body does not react well to soy, so I
really. So you can't even be a soy boy. You're so delicate that you're not. You're below soy boy.
That's what's so funny to me. Also, though, just about the right wing memes are always so behind the times. Like, give me a soy lot, like these soy latte drinking leftists, whatever. Most soy milk in lattes is very passe now. It's either like oat milk is the milk du jour of the moment, and then maybe almond milk. Like soy milk is it's so 2000 and late.
Rob, you should
as the great philosopher Fergie would say.
You should do a spin-off podcast where you explain reality to conservative meme makers.
Isn't that what he used to do on Metal Injection? That was his whole job.
Well, you know how you were commenting on grammar, Darren, earlier. For me, when I see right-wing memers and memers and their references are off, I feel like they need to correct them. I think what you're going for here actually is the term is oat milk latte. That would be more relevant to what you're trying to say.
So you want to make them more effective marginalizers of
look, if you're gonna stereotype correctly or accurately at least,
I'll tell you one thing, Christian Walker would never make that soy mistake.
Yes, Christian Walker is my favorite right-wing troll, son of Herschel Walker. I mean, I feel like we may have brought him up on the show once or twice.
I'm a big fan of his delivery. Not so much.
His politics are terrible. But if I had to, gun to my head, him or Randy Rainbow, Christian Walker all the way. Politically, I probably align much closer to Randy Rainbow.
You mean to fuck?
No, I mean to be entertained by.
He's a twink. He's right up Rob's alley, I think, isn't he?
Well, Rob would be up his alley.
Well, take the politics out of it. I just mean you saw this man's visage on Grindr, and forget who he is and all that.
He's a little too scrawny for me, but he is in my wheelhouse. I will admit.
Mm-hmm.
And also, he's 21 or 22, so it's a little.
Does that matter if you just go in there to have sex, their age?
It doesn't matter.
I mean, all right, barring underage men, but I mean, the fact that he's legal,
past the legalities. I think, I don't want someone who still kind of looks like a teenager. That's not appealing.
Oh, fair. So it's aesthetic, though. It's not like you're not.
Yeah, it's more aesthetic. Yeah. Right. Yes.
You don't like the fact of the fresher butt doesn't balance it out for you. Just a butt that's been used less. Is there any appeal to that?
That's taken into heavy consideration. It's a nice challenge.
I just feel like that is very from my perception, that seems like something, regardless of gay or straight, that goes against stereotype of what men like. They usually sound like sexually they're more attracted to young men or women, whatever the case may be.
Well, the thing is, I feel like I prefer a certain level of experience, because if you're like too, I don't want to be doing a training session. I just want to have some fun.
That makes sense. I feel like that seems to me like maybe I've heard that before, like in the gay community, that it's like this. It's just everyone knows exactly what they want from a young age, and they're more because they're gay. Like they're more.
I wouldn't say that's true.
Oh, I could be totally wrong, but let me just establish my thought, and then
sure,
go debunk it. Is that like they've been exploring their feelings because they're like so marginalized in their feelings and maybe face bigotry over it, that they think about it more, and they're very much more aware of their fetishes than straight people are at a younger age, and so they're more in tune like with what they like in their partners, and therefore someone who's not experienced, who happens to not have done that and doesn't have that hammered out, would be really annoying to them.
Yeah, certainly. Yeah, in that sense, yes. But I feel like you kind of think you know what you like, and then you're there.
Yeah, you thought you liked the Ultimate Warrior.
Right. And you're like, oh wait, this isn't what I assumed it would be. Like it's only once you have the experience that you do find what you like and don't like, beyond what you assume you would. Like you might think you would want to try something, but when you're actually there and doing it, it's not as fun as you assume.
Well, Rob told me, I hope I'm not telling tales out of school, Rob, but when Rob gave up the Ultimate Warrior, it was when he found out those tassels were cutting off his blood flow to his penis.
Oh, no.
And, that would have worked for me.
That's not attractive.
Rob likes those bloody dicks.
Ooh.
Wasn't that a Cardi B song?
If it wasn't, it should be.
I wear bloody dicks.
Big hit in the UK.
Oh, God.
Bloody, I don't know.
Prince Charles, I thought you were.
Oh, no.
Well, if his fingers look like that.
Oh, they do, sort of. Oh, gross. But yeah, we saw Noah last night. That was lovely. Yeah. Anybody else have highlights other than the food?
Well, I told the story to you and Rob right next to each other, and then Noah horned in on it, and she wanted to really hear it, and I was like, well, it's not that great. She's like, tell me later. And then she put me on the spot right outside the restaurant, gathered everybody around in a circle. And I'm telling the story, and it was like a 2.5-star story, and she was expecting a 5-star story, and it just kind of went like that. So
well, also, I feel like you might have caved under the pressure because you gave us the first draft of the story at the dinner table, and we were off to the corner. So, like, it was us. You couldn't really hear our conversation with the rest of the table just because how big the place was and how long the table was. And I felt like on the initial telling, you told it with a little more vigor. Than
you definitely did an edited, quicker version.
Yeah, which I understand. I'm not judging you because it did. She was putting you on the spot when everyone was like, "All right, let's leave," and then it was like, "Wait, tell us the story," which has been involved, truthfully, and ultimately a very trivial thing.
It was like a haha. It was very interesting what happened, but it wasn't like my friends need to hear this. So
it wasn't. Darren has to tell this story.
I kind of bombed, but it wasn't totally my fault.
In a way, though, great roasting by Noah to put you on the spot like that.
I'm not roasting. Deduct points because she wasn't trying to do that.
Yeah,
right. She had been maliciously trying to roast me.
It wasn't
take the L. You know what I mean? But it was just like.
But you realize now you have to tell the story a third time because the listeners want to hear it.
It's not. Trust me, guys. I'll put it in the Discord. There you go. That's an
example. No, I thought this was the setup for the story. No, you absolutely have to tell the story.
You're doing what Noah did now.
Every listener, gather around. Stop what you're doing. Put down your work. Darren has to tell this story.
The whole promotional links for this episode will be Darren has a story to tell. Tune in.
Download shocking, revealing story.
No, it's not. Do you really want me to tell it?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm in this class, and it's a Zoom class in college. I went back to college as an old person during quarantine, so I'm still taking classes, and it's a film class. So they make us watch movies, and then every week there's like a discussion board online. So you got to go to the discussion board, and you got to talk about the movie we just watched. This week it was Moonlight, which is one of my favorite movies ever. And there's this guy in the class, seemed like a nice guy, probably like mid-30s. He's Indian. He's an Indian immigrant, heavy accent. But he goes to, and we know, by the way, when I set this up, we know beforehand that we have to read this thing in the class over the Zoom call. Okay, so he decides to write his review by going to Rotten Tomatoes and just copy pasting 1/4 of a review, not even the whole thing, but like the setup. The setup.
That's the part that you left out when you retold it to Noah. That in my head I was like, "Oh, you've left out the key."
Oh,
thing.
I'm sorry, Noah. Wherever if you're watching this, I apologize. I failed you.
Sure it's like a Rotten Tomatoes, or you just any review that you just got 1/4 of.
It was literally a Rotten. I went because I googled what he wrote because I had to see where he stole it from.
Excellent, and that's what I was wondering. Yes,
it was the first response was Rotten Tomatoes, and it was verbatim. So it was like the first 2 paragraphs of like a 10 paragraph review, and it cut off in the middle, like basically in the middle of a sentence. And then he gets called on, and then he starts reading this review that he clearly didn't write, and it's like he can't pronounce half of the words in his own review. He's just kind of sitting there. The word brouhaha was in there, and he's like booha, 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 and he just skips it, and he just goes to the next word. Like anytime there was a word he wasn't familiar with, he just went to the next word. So
I could go ahead, Rob.
I think that's the best part of the story is that he plagiarized this review. He knew he had to present it and didn't even bother to like skim it before it. Like that's how little he cared.
But here's the absolute best part of this was when he got to a point. This reviewer was like lukewarm on Moonlight, which if you're going to steal a review, steal a positive one, because the teacher clearly loves this movie. She made it clear before. So why are you're sort of like contradicting what the professor is saying, giving her more reason to scrutinize you.
Yeah.
So he gets, but he didn't even realize that. So he gets to the sentence where it says, Moonlight is a good film, but it's not a great film. And then he does the Flintstones like foot screeching, driving the car thing, right? And he's like, I think I need to watch this movie again. Professor, if you will let me watch it again and review it, because I think I've learned things in this class that I didn't watch it and absorb it enough. He made up a whole bunch of bullshit. And she's like, no, go on. Continue reading. And she let this poor guy plow through this thing for like 5 minutes. And she never challenged him. She actually, I think she put it to the class to challenge him. She's like, anyone have a response to this review? Nobody said, I don't want to be the guy to snitch this guy out, you know?
Yeah.
I kind of did, but then I thought it would be like on.
But like, where would it go at that point? Okay, let's say
this is Nathan Fielder's The Rehearsal.
Okay,
and you got a do-over, and you could call him out. How would you have done it?
I would have honestly. I'm going to preface this by saying I would not do this in real life, but like what I imagine me saying is like, you know, we're all fucking working hard in this class. You think could we just admit that this is like, you just took this off a website? Like, it's kind of obvious to everybody. Like, why are we pretending about this? You know what I mean? Like, it was just, we all had to sit there and pretend that it was very cringy. Like, it was awkward for me. I know it was awkward for the class. I don't know if it was awkward for the teacher. She's a very nice teacher, very intelligent, but she sometimes checks out. Like, you know what I mean? I don't feel like she might. This is a 2% chance she didn't realize what was happening.
I
doubt it. Yeah. I doubt it, but it's possible because she didn't show a word. Like she acted like he wrote she did a shitty job, but she didn't act like he stole it. You know, she's like, try harder, come back next time. And she didn't. She was so nice to him. And I was like, what's happening here? What is happening? That's the main thing about this is I thought I was losing my mind. I was like, nobody's reacting to this. And I wanted to be the one to just be like, this guy just took this off of Rotten Tomatoes. Like, it ends in the middle of a sentence. He didn't even copy and paste it right.
Click through the whole way. Because, you know, on the front page, it just gives you like the first like 2.5 sentences of the review, and then you have to click through for the full thing. Yeah. So he just took the blurb and didn't actually click through.
Right.
That's how lazy
read more.
Was.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Amazing. Class meets once a week. You couldn't just watch Moonlight and write 3 sentences about it. By the way, I
when you told
recommend
this
that movie.
story earlier, you didn't mention his age, so I assumed he was like an older guy. He probably has kids. He was super busy with work and kids, blah blah blah. But if he's in his 30s, then maybe not. Maybe he's just a lazy dick. Who knows?
He's a film guy. He went on to say later, like he's into the technical side, and he, they force you to take every when you have a film major, you have to do the business class about film.
Okay.
You have to do film history. You have to do screenwriting. And then if you're the guy that wants to be a director or a cameraman, then you have the majority of your classes in that. But you have to do everything. So he's in the film criticism class now.
Yeah.
And he's really like a lights guy or whatever the fuck he is, So he said that later in the class. I don't know about this film criticism stuff, but at least try, for fuck's sake.
So, like, do you have any sense of like what his favorite movies are? Like, what his movie vibe is?
I can actually look that up because everyone wrote it down.
Let's see.
Try to look it up. But, you want me to do it right now?
As we're talking,
I'll say come back to it in the
the show. I'll
find it.
Thank you, Tutorino.
Tutorino said Sid has a very cute cat.
Anyway, I hope that story bombed less, but if it did bomb, I want to point out that these two guys made me tell.
No, I thought this time might be the best of the three.
Oh, thank you. Maybe the show like energizes me to have a better delivery.
Practice makes perfect.
And I'm not full of pasta either at the time.
I'm full of Frosted Flakes right now.
Okay, I don't see where I think when we had the favorite movies thing, it was like verbal, like she just went around and asked. I thought it was in this discussion board, but it's not, unfortunately.
What movies did you say about?
I said Ghostbusters. I said Battle Royale. What else did I say? See, it changes from week to week, so that's the problem.
Yeah, that was
Glorious Bastards is one. That I always makes my lists.
Kiss versus the Phantom of the Park.
Yeah, love that.
You should have just referenced like Livecast movies.
There was the movie that came out this year that instantly made my list was Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Oh yeah,
that's one of my favorite movies of all time. Not this year, but all time.
Yeah.
I recently joined Letterboxd. It's a very interesting social network. It's a social network based around movie reviews, and basically you can review whatever you want and see how other people. It's kind of, I guess it's kind of like Rotten Tomatoes, but they make a big deal about your friend list, and so you see how your friends rate movies and what they're rating, and I've actually it's a pretty small social network, so there's only like 20 people or so that I know on there, but it's been a fun way to kind of discover newer obscure movies. But the point I was getting to is on your profile it asks you to pick your 4 favorite movies, and instinctually the movies I went, I was like, wait a minute, these are my favorite movies from like 2005. I've seen more movies since this, I haven't thought about that. And like I certainly like there's movies, for example, like the original Matrix, I would say was one of my favorite movies, but that's such a boring answer to okay, everyone likes the Matrix, but like at the time it like moved me.
I think the semi-similar answers that I tell everybody is Ghostbusters, and everyone says, that's a fucking blockbuster movie, but Ghostbusters is like a perfect diamond of like filmmaking. Like,
you mean the recent one though?
Yes, the one with the women.
With Leslie Jones. Yeah.
It's just really like every aspect of that movie is like you couldn't change one thing and make it better. It's just for what it was trying to do. It's just perfect dialogue, perfect like characters. The characters are not like like one of them is a wisecracker, but it's not like they're not trying to be funny. Like the comedy derives from the situation. Like there's 4 regular dudes trying to run a business, and the comedy arises from these doofuses becoming the saviors of the world. You know what I mean? Like that's why I love that movie so much, because it's the least try hard movie ever. It's just so good in that it's like even keelness. It's dry.
It's a great movie, yeah.
Dry.
Dorito asks, does Rob still cry during SLC Punk? Did I say I cried during that movie?
Did you? I don't remember.
No, I don't remember saying that, but that's certainly one of those movies where I really want to go back and see it and see how I feel about it now as an adult. Because as a kid, I was like, oh, this movie had a message, man.
The message was that the main character sucked, right? That's all I got from it. And then at the end, he sells out. And you're like, oh, yeah, okay. So he does suck. Cool. Get it.
Sid destroying Rob's.
As I recall, I mean, I haven't seen it in probably 20 years. And I went into it expecting to hate it.
Mm-hmm.
And then that was confirmed.
But
I don't know.
I'll have to check. I'll have to check if he is as unlikable to adult Rob as he was to baby Sid.
Who Matthew Lillard, right? That was the guy. Yeah. Who else is in that movie? Is there anybody else? Shifty Shortcake says Zombievers is his favorite movie outside of obvious Hollywood blockbusters. I don't know what Zombievers is. Do either of you guys?
No. I didn't hear you. What?
Zombievers? You ever hear of that movie?
That's probably just cashing in on the Sharknado thing, right?
2014 film starring no one I've ever heard of.
I'm sure it's a Sharknado ripoff. I guarantee you. There's so many movies like that are hybrids of two things attacking people. After Sharknado.
It must be, the poster,
in SLC Punk. Devin Sawa, Adam Pascal, James Duval, Jason Segel.
Yeah. Zombievers made $44,000 box office. It's pretty good.
34,000?
44,000.
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to short.
Don't sell it short.
But it profited that, or that was the gross?
It just says box office 44,000.
Oh, that can't be good. Or maybe sometimes though they release it in one theater just to make it qualify as a theater release. So
it's probably.
And then
it was released in the Tribeca Film Festival. Mm-hmm. It seems like this is like a comedy thing because the person who did the movie has a lot of like Comedy Central credits and stuff.
Okay.
So at least it was like a movie that knew it was absurd.
I think all those Sharknado ripoffs kind of know that.
I've never seen any of them.
I don't even sit down and watch them. I've seen clips and stuff.
Yeah.
Whenever I see a really stupid one, like I'll go and watch 5 minutes of it.
Wow, Deuterino can quote all of the movie Blue Streak, which I think I own the DVD of. It's a Martin Lawrence vehicle.
Wow. Yeah.
He's a cop.
Yep.
Why do you own the DVD? That's how much it moved you that you felt you needed to own it.
Well, it was back in the days where I don't even remember what the company was, but where you could like send in your unwanted CDs and DVDs and trade, and somebody was it like Swap Tree or something like that? Rob, I think it was when we lived together that I used this service mostly.
Okay.
And like so you'd put up like the CDs and DVDs or books you were looking to give away, and then you put like a wish list of stuff you want. And whenever there was a match, you would just put your thing in a mailer and send it to the person, and the person would send you the piece of media that you wanted. And I think that's how I got Blue Streak. It was just like I had a very broad list of wants. Just like let me get rid of these CDs that I stole from Brooklyn College for whatever I can get for them.
I'll tell you another one that is fairly recent that got added to my list is The Arrival. You've all seen that, right?
Which one is that?
Or just Arrival?
Is it Arrival? No, I think it's the original story.
Is that the one with Amy Adams and Forrest Whitaker?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just Arrival.
Forrest Whitaker's accent in that I'm still baffled by. I don't know what the fuck he was doing in that movie. The rest of the movie was fine, but Forrest Whitaker damn near ruined that movie for me because I don't know what the fuck he was doing.
Isn't that just because you know what he really sounds like, and it wouldn't be a big deal, would it?
But the accent, I couldn't even place it. Like, is it a Boston? Maybe, but not really. I don't know what the hell he was trying to do.
Well, let me throw this at you. Maybe that was done intentionally because the movie is about unraveling cryptic messages from an alien race. So maybe
even his voice.
It's a motif. You know what I mean? Like,
okay, that's fine.
I'm just trying to help the filmmakers there.
And actually, what I was
watching, Nope, the new Jordan Peele movie, I was very much reminded of Arrival.
I still haven't seen it.
I should say Get Out. That goes on the list of.
That's great.
Us, I thought it was mixed. I liked it.
Yeah, I was a little disappointed with Us.
I like the concept a lot. I thought there was some things about it that were a little bit whack.
Yes.
But I didn't see Nope yet.
So the movies that I landed on my top 4 on Letterboxd, which if you're on Letterboxd, add me, Rob Injection.
Are you legally still allowed to use that as a username?
Sure.
Just a word.
Yeah, I want to inject my Rob into you.
Oh,
The top 4 that I ended up with are Fight Club, Austin Powers, Goodfellas, and Requiem for a Dream.
Now, can I ask a follow up on that?
Mm-hmm.
Is Austin Powers on there out of nostalgia? Like, have you watched it recently? Does it still hold to your top 4, or is it just because it was so much?
I feel like the original is like beyond my personal like comedic growth from the entire series. I feel the first one is just one of the best parody movies of all time, and it holds up. It holds up completely on its own. And it's like, to me, it has the quotability and the watchability of like a Simpsons episode. Like, I've seen it so many times now where if it's on in the other room, I don't even need the visual to see what's going on because I know it, because I've seen it so much.
You know what is weird though? It's if that you don't realize when you go back and watch the first one is how like kind of understated he is playing this Austin Powers. Like,
yeah.
It sounds weird because it's such an over-the-top movie, but compared to the other 2 movies, it's very muted. Like, he's like kind of doing a James Bond with a little bit of doofishness added.
Dr. Evil too. It's a much more muted Dr. Evil. He's much more farcical in the later films.
Yep.
And it is my favorite comedy, I think, of all like either it would be that or Anchorman. I feel like I ultimately watch Austin Powers more than Anchorman. Or like Wayne's World.
Anchorman, great. That second one, maybe not so much, but that probably didn't need to come out.
Yeah.
I was just cashing in. Whoa, Rob, your mom is in the chat.
No, she's not.
What? That's
not actually.
Mama Rob.
Mama right in there.
That's not Mama.
No, I verified it. We were just.
She doesn't know how to use Twitter.
And her follow-up
just
comment
PMing.
confirms she knows that it's really you. She knows these facts that nobody else would know about you. You watched The Simpsons as a little boy.
Not many people did that, so it's very easy to identify Rob there.
That is the one show that she knows that I watch, which technically I haven't really watched it in like a decade. Although I've tuned in recently. I watched a few new episodes. They're not bad. They're all right.
Although she probably didn't watch it with you because there's a person with blue hair in it, and she reacted so negatively when you had blue hair.
She threw a shoe at the television.
Yeah.
Босоножки прямо в экран.
She thought
what? It's in the fountain?
No, ekran, it's the screen.
I thought chram means dick.
No, not chram, ekran.
Oh, okay. Is that true, or is that a Borat made up thing? Chram.
I've never heard it in any other context. It means scar. In Russian, chram means scar.
Oh,
or like if you're chramai, you're like limping or you're wounded.
Oh, so his penis is a wound?
I guess.
It's fantastic.
Could be.
Ooh, your mom brings up Shaun of the Dead. That's a great movie. Love Shaun of the Dead.
That is a great movie, yeah.
Your mom's got good taste, Rob. It's very impressive.
I watched did we talk about Last Night in Soho on this program?
I think you talked to me offline
Edgar
about
Wright.
it.
Oh yeah, it's an interesting concept for a movie. He definitely tried to do something unique, and ultimately I enjoyed it. You know who's in it? The woman from Game
Anya
of Thrones.
Taylor-Joy.
The one who's tell Cersei it was me.
Oh, the old lady?
The old lady, yeah.
That's dead now? I forget her name.
Oh yeah, I guess she is dead. But yeah, she's great in this.
I have to say, mentioning Shaun of the Dead, I actually liked I like The World's End better than Shaun of the Dead.
I think Shaun of the Dead is still my favorite, but they're all good.
Yeah.
Shaun of the Dead, yeah, to me is just unbelievable. That's another actually, like I need to rewatch that because that is definitely one that I remember thinking was a flawless film.
I've rewatched it a few times.
Horror movie. Yeah,
it's great because like it does something a lot of movies don't do, which is start as a parody and then it winds up like kind of not being a parody anymore.
Yeah.
Even though it's still funny, but it sort of becomes a serious zombie movie, which is very
in a way. I think those are the best parodies. The one I feel like that's kind of sort of what Austin Powers did. Like it started as a James Bond parody, and then it just totally became its own thing.
I also think it like the best parody movies have they start with a serious plot. Like they write the whole movie and then they insert jokes and comedic threads,
Yeah.
which I think is really cool. But the bad parodies don't do that. They just write a bunch of gags.
And it's just like not another teen movie or whatever.
Yeah. All of those junk ass movies. Movie 43, the same guy made one. I think one of the same guys that made all those parody movies did Movie 43. But we were just talking about that because Halle Berry was in that. That's awful. Maybe we should do Movie 43 on the Patreon.
I think you've suggested that before. Sure.
What was the plot of that? Or
it's not a plot. It's like vignettes. It's like 20 vignettes or something. But it's just like a cash in. Like this guy had a bunch of Hollywood connections and he called in a bunch of favors. So like a lot of stars are in this movie. Big stars like Halle Berry are in it, doing like dumbass like YouTube type skits that are just gross out skits and stuff like that. Just really bizarre. It's not even barely a movie. It's just a funny phenomenon to like see how Hollywood works in this dumbass movie.
It's sort of like a Ponzi scheme, like a movie version of a Ponzi scheme.
Yeah, like the Adam Sandler Ponzi schemes. You just got a deal with a studio to just keep making these movies over and over, and to fund his friends going to Hawaii and Africa and all these vacations. And the movies
all
are
the power
same
to him. I'm not going to watch them, but
no,
I can't go with that. Sorry, I feel like that just makes movies worse when, like, in general,
it's just filler.
It goes beyond the scope of this is just a bad movie. Like, I think that changes the industry, and then worse movies get made because that's possible to do. That's why if it was just a bad movie, I'd be like, I like what Rob said. Fuck it, But
and it's sort of just like a very cynical, like, you're not making a movie because you had this great idea and you want to see it on screen. Right. You're making a movie because you want to get together with your friends at a location and be paid to do it. And okay, we'll say we're making a movie, whatever. Let's take a weekend to shit out a script.
And they're full of ads. They're full of Al Pacino doing like Dunkin' Donuts commercials.
Oh yeah.
Come on. So it's like the fact that works is like a bad commentary on where movies are.
So Sid, what are your 4 favorite films?
I like you said when you thought about it, they were all from 2005. I haven't really thought of that in 20 years, so everything I say is probably going to be from like the late 90s, and it's probably not accurate. Like the first things that come to mind are like Fight Club, Royal Tenenbaums. Maybe I'll put Everything Everywhere All at Once on that because that's like the most recent thing that really blew me away. But I can't even. There's like I know I'm forgetting like 5,000 great movies. It's too hard.
Yeah, I really liked Her. Her was that it?
Movie.
The Joaquin Phoenix movie.
Yeah. Well, he has the AI becomes his girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How about Brokeback Mountain? I'm a big fan of that movie.
Are you putting Mama Rabba in the?
Hey.
What?
Oh, yay!
Hey!
Robbie, you're almost very young.
I was Mama Rob all along.
I didn't know. I thought Rob was just putting a listener on.
So did I. I was like, you didn't clear this one out.
Yeah.
Well, technically, you did.
I guess I am a listener, so.
Yeah.
Fair. Are you at the airport? What are you doing?
I'm at the food court of Newark Airport.
Oh my god!
Because our flight has been delayed for like 6 hours.
What?
We don't know what to do.
Jesus
Christ! I just want to go home today.
You look like you're.
I look horrible.
No, you don't look horrible. It's just the hat is over your face.
I know because. So I thought we were gonna have like a morning flight, so I didn't really bother washing my face or anything. So I just look terrible, but I couldn't miss out on the opportunity to call.
Thank you.
That's fantastic.
It was so nice to see you yesterday.
At first I thought, oh my God, yesterday was so fun. And it's like part of the reason why I barely slept because I was so hyper from seeing everyone and catching up with everyone. It was very interesting. I thought that like after so long of not really hanging out with everyone in person, I thought it was just like very meaningful. And it was good to see how like everyone kind of grew in their own way. And, like everyone kind of had something going on,
Not me.
Yeah, I didn't really talk to you because you were like tucked away in the corner as usual.
But I assure you, I have nothing. At least nothing.
Changed the least.
There is something about Sid actually that I learned through Amy that was positive. Oh no, it's a good thing. The neighbor, I heard you had some cojones.
I mouthed off to
In
him, but he
addressing
stopped
him.
bothering us. But have I talked about this on the show? I can't remember. I probably did because it's been like a year or two since it happened.
I feel like you may have mentioned
Is the neighbor that writes the poetry?
Yeah.
Okay.
And always
He
like
writes
bangs on
poetry.
the ceiling anytime we walk, and we could hear him fucking sometimes.
Ew.
Oh, I pictured this guy as a Douglas Levison type. I didn't think he was
he's like a nebbishy, like 60-year-old Italian guy.
He gets laid like that?
I mean, if your standards are low enough. I'm assuming he's not bringing supermodels home.
Or he gets a prostitutka.
It's possible. It's very possible.
That's my favorite international foods cold cut. I have to say, prostitutka.
That's what I meant.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, the basic thing is we had our refrigerator, our freezer had a leak, and it leaked into his apartment, and so he came up here to complain. And I was like, super sarcastically, I was like, yeah, we made it leak on purpose because we fucking hate you. And keep mouthing off and we'll make it leak again. And he left. He told the super that I said this because I guess he believed me.
Oh.
What an idiot.
But after that, there's never been any static from that guy. So I think that it's possible that he's just scared we'll make the freezer leak into his apartment again on purpose.
Or
as if that's the thing we could do.
Maybe he's scared of the fact that you're so insane that you would say that even if you were joking to a stranger.
But really, it's just like any bully. Like, you just stand up to them once, and they back off because they're not used to people actually speaking up for themselves. They're used to just talking over everybody. And
That's true.
Like, who the you're my height. You're
good for
20 years older than me. Why? I'm not fucking scared of you. Who are you? This is hilarious. I just laugh at him. So yeah.
So there you go. Don't mess with Sid.
That's
Some
right.
comments from the chat. Just Dusty Rose Muffler says, "I missed you, Noah." And
I miss
Judarina
you
says,
too.
"Nice
Thank
carcass
you.
hat, Noah."
My current favorite hat.
You really didn't just wear it for this show?
No, I actually did wear it for the show because I wasn't wearing it before.
Oh.
So now I
don't
put
need the hat.
my sunglasses on. I just like
show your beautiful flowing locks. You look like Antifa.
The way with your sunglasses, you have your sunglasses like that, it makes me think of the poster for Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Oh, good. Okay.
Oh,
maybe Fear and Loathing in Newark.
So we had to like leave the terminal because the American Airlines terminal sucks. There's like nothing good in there, and it was like super loud. And we have our cat, so we came out, and there's like food places outside of security. I went to the bathroom. There's like a woman who was naked sitting at the end of the bathroom. I don't know what the hell she was doing. She was like sitting on the floor doing something.
She hot?
She's probably like in temperature hot. Like she probably has a fever.
I would have a fever.
She's probably like really, really sick, you know, in all sorts of ways.
Damn.
Yeah, so I had to use the bathroom so bad. Luckily, as soon as I left, they closed the bathroom and a bunch of like Port Authority police officers went in there to like address it.
They ran a train on her.
Yeah,
that's all they did. They were like, "Oh,
it'll be on Pornhub in about 8 minutes."
Yes. Jesus.
It's an OnlyFans shoot.
Speaking of OnlyFans, Tommy Lee just launched an OnlyFans.
What?
You guys saw this?
Was that Instagram dick pic just a teaser for an OnlyFans?
I guess it was the catalyst for it. I'm looking. Of course, you know the average OnlyFans subscription price is like about $9.99. He's charging $19.99.
Does he really need the money? I mean, you think he needs the money? No.
I just went to his OnlyFans. Did you see this last post? It says new OnlyFans just dropped. Watch me bang this woman in the Newark Port Authority, in the Newark Airport bathroom.
Are they playing Prudential Center tonight? That makes total sense.
No, he just likes to hang around the airports. It's a weird thing he does.
He hands out Methods of Mayhem CDs to people as they get off of flights.
And they say no thank you.
Yeah.
It looks like he only has about like 10 photos or 15 photos.
So is it sexual or is it just like his penis or like what is it?
I don't know. I'm not paying the $20 to see their locks.
There's no samples.
Did it?
Yeah,
I mean, Is it true that there's people now doing like they make OnlyFans and they're not sexual? Like it's just a way to sell things like videos and stuff?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's so weird. Does OnlyFans like approve of that or they don't give a shit?
That was the original intention of it.
Oh, really? It just became sex?
It kind of was like a the first goal with it was to be like a premium Snapchat in a way, like for your super fans to get like little snaps that, and then the porn stars got a hold of it.
I never knew that.
And then everybody started making some money.
Oh, so it's still like they haven't rebranded as a porn site then.
Correct.
Okay.
They tried to get away from the porn. They tried to ban all the porn, but there was such a backlash.
Exactly. Like 2 days later, they're like, we take that back.
Oh, I think I vaguely remember this now that you're saying that. Like,
because it was actually it was the reason I was reading is pressure from religious groups to credit card companies to not take payments from this type of sites. And they were trying to get like some funding. So it was like a whole political thing.
That's so dumb. If you're a religious site, whatever organization, wouldn't you want one place to have all the porn so that it's not on like Twitter or whatever else you use? It seems like a nice containment unit for you.
No, they prefer having it in their face so they could get angry about it.
Oh, that's true.
They don't want it at all. Yeah. And Dusty Rhodes Buffler, he knows the deal. Sex workers have co-opted OnlyFans. There's a backlash towards OnlyFans that they aren't like actually, supporting their creator community, and there's competitive fan sites now like Just for Fans, which give you better commissions, I guess.
Which one are you on?
Yeah.
I am not. I am.
Which one
but
are you showing your toes on?
I am but a voyeur. I do not sell any premium Rob content other than on the Livecast Patreon. That's where you get Rob.
That's where you get Rob's dick pics. Do any of you three patronize OnlyFans?
No.
I can't say I have ever.
It's too much free content. I'm cheap.
Yeah.
I've given a select few, a month subscription, like some out of curiosity, some just because it's like, you know what? You're adorable. I'll give you. You need some cash.
You're just a zaddy with a lot of money.
Yeah, you're cute.
I'm sure they didn't give it back.
And one of them was a pro wrestler who I was curious, like, what you're posting? But then there were no nudes, so it was very disappointing.
So is he gay or is he just in a?
Yeah, it was the NXT wrestler Jake Atlas.
Oh, okay. Wasn't he outed or did he come out?
No, he was always out himself. He outed his boyfriend.
That's what I'm thinking of. Right?
Ouch!
There was a dramatic domestic dispute where he got arrested.
Yeah, and the cops' body cam footage went on the internet.
Yeah, and it was very embarrassing because he was clearly drunk and like just saying anything.
It was like a "Do you know who I am?" type of thing, and like why would I beat my boyfriend? I'm famous wrestler Jake Atlas. That's
like I'm an internet. But
he was
also
cutting
then
a
he was
promo.
like, also, do you understand? I'm threatened. I am a Mexican gay person of color, and you're a white man. And the cop couldn't have been friendly. Like he was like completely non-threatening.
Cop handled it by the book.
Yeah. So it made him look very, very bad.
It also made that for a couple of weeks, it was like fuel for right-wing conservatives to go like, look at this woke crybaby. And the cop was beautifully nice to him. And he brings up the race card, so that went around too. Oh, look at, we got a Deuterino comment that says, what about Tony Atlas's OnlyFans?
Oh, no.
That's just women's shoes on his face.
Yeah, his OnlyFans is him paying OnlyFans to look at feet all day. That's what his OnlyFans is.
Speaking of the right record, one thing I did want to talk about, and Noah, I don't know how long you want to hang out. You got plenty of time, so please.
Just until I have to use the bathroom again.
Okay, well, I wanted to mention this.
Just had some Cadobo.
Ooh. Very nice. I'm hungry.
Not very nice. It is what it is.
It's fine. It's overpriced.
Hipsters Chipotle.
Last time I was at the airport when I went to Denver, I noticed a significant drop in prices in many things. How was the pricing for your food, Noah?
I paid $15 for a veggie bowl and a side of chips.
That sounds standard.
That sounds pretty reasonable. Like that.
No beverage?
That sounds like no airport markup to me.
Yeah, like because I feel like they're trying to not do airport markup. But anyway, so the point I'm trying to get at that. Okay, so they really Disney has this Little Mermaid trailer. I don't know if you guys have seen it. Doesn't matter.
No.
But the quote unquote controversy is that Ariel is black.
Yes.
And the racists are upset. And I want to tell you guys, I saw a total of, and obviously I am not in a racist echo chamber, so I'm not seeing these, but I've seen a total of maybe 2 racist posts, and then 5,000 clapbacks about like, oh, this is racist, but somebody playing it, you know, like. Right. The whole publicity arc for this movie has been people clapping back at non-existent racists about.
Well, wasn't like the first one like some broadcaster, like some actual media personality that people were clapping back at? Some like right-wing media personality. There was like a video.
I just want to know who's playing Sebastian, because he's my favorite character of Little Mermaid.
I'll look it up.
It's, Douglas Levison, I believe.
Oh.
And is he in like a crab suit? Crustacean
Wallace Shawn, wow.
Who is that?
He's alive?
I'm kidding.
Is he alive though?
I think he is, yeah. David Diggs does the voice of Sebastian. From Hamilton.
A Jewish guy?
Hamilton. No, he's a black dude.
Yeah. I'm just saying so and like just.
Well, Sebastian was a Caribbean in the original, so they reserved the race. They preserved the race for Sebastian, but not for Eric.
But it's just a voice anyway.
Right.
Melissa McCarthy plays Ursula. Wow, Javier Bardem plays King Triton. What the fuck is this movie? This is crazy.
Dusty Rosefelter says there's been a lot of complaints from the right complaining that she's not white. Like that's so. It's just this is a fictional character. It's a mermaid. Mermaids aren't real,
right? It's like
I just want to say I complain about all musicals. So my grudge is that it's a musical.
Yeah, thumbs down.
No, thank you.
Yeah, my complaint is that the actress they selected to play Ariel has real legs, and she's not actually a mermaid. She's not.
It's like it doesn't.
So I
don't watch it. I don't know. It's like this seems shallow to say, but it feels like Disney. It knows, I mean, they have to know that there's going to be the mild racist, like they obviously did the market research to see there's far more non-racists than racists where it's worth the blowback. And it feels like they know they're going to get so much publicity from people being like, no, we have to see this and it comes off very gross to me. It's just like,
it does, cynical.
It's very cynical. Thank you.
I can see them choosing a black actress not because she's the best actress, but because they want racists to get mad about it. I wouldn't put that. I'm not saying that happened here, but I'm just saying I wouldn't put that past the corporation to be that cynical.
Are you saying they're virtue signaling? Is that what
virtue signaling means?
No.
I don't think they're virtue signaling. I think it's money driven. I think it's profit driven.
Of course.
I don't think it's like virtue, like they think black actors are better than white actors or anything. They're not trying to prove any kind of point. I think
so. So you don't think they're doing it just to like present as like a company that has like diversity on its mind or whatever.
But there's a cash motive to presenting that.
Yeah.
They won't do a good thing without making money off of it.
They're doing it not because they want there to be, not because they care about little girls having little black girls having
exactly.
They don't give a shit about that. They just care about money.
I mean, I'm sure they do give a shit about that, but only if it also helps them. It's like we could do a nice thing and also make money off of it. Cool. We wouldn't do the nice thing if we couldn't make money off of it.
Have you hung out with like really wealthy elite people recently or at any point of your life?
No.
They don't give a shit. They only care about themselves.
Noah hangs out with them quite a lot.
No, what have you been doing in Tucson?
Well, that's where the Bilderberg group meets now. They moved it.
Build-A-Bear?
Yes, the Build-A-Bear group. It's the cabal that secretly runs the forest.
Oh my goodness! So what are you going to be doing for 6 hours in New York? You might be actually. You should look up your credit card. You might be able to get like some money out of this.
No,
I
we
feel
already
like there's
read.
some lot. Oh, you read
No,
it?
if there's so it's a mechanical problem with the plane. If it's a mechanical problem and causes you delays or whatever, you can't.
Damn it!
The airline industry gets away with murder. Every single flight I've had, either the flight to or the return flight, is like fucked up.
It's been pretty bad.
It's been so bad, and like anywhere else, like if you get this kind of service, you just would not go back to like the store or whatever, or you can complain, or you can report it to like the Better Business Bureau or whoever.
What actually happens when you report
fund.
something to the Better Business Bureau?
There's
my
like
mom
negative
used to
reviews.
always threaten that.
I know,
but
my
isn't
mom
that like
too.
Yelp? Like, what's the difference?
I think it was a mom thing for sure.
Yeah.
Well,
because like there's negative reviews, but who goes to the Better Business Bureau to check on a business before using them? Nobody.
I think they have it has functionality to leave a review, but really, what the Better Business Bureau does is like they're an agency that investigates actual businesses. They get enough complaints, they go after them. But
yeah, they could find them and stuff like that.
Somebody needs to do a deep dive on that and see if they actually do that, because I haven't heard anything about them actually.
Well, it's probably just corrupt, like every other
agency
that's supposed to watchdog big corporations.
Yeah.
Noah, you said the airlines get away with murder. Can you check on that woman? I'm getting a little worried. She's all right.
That's just getting away with raw dogging.
I gave my dessert last night to a displaced person.
And, that's nice of you.
On the way home, I knew I wasn't going to eat it, and I figured it was included in our prefix. So,
which dessert did you pick?
Hold on, I could have had that cannoli. You just gave it.
I didn't know you wanted. I would have given it to you.
No, it's better. It's better I did it.
Last night when we got to dessert, I don't know if you guys saw this. Marina ordered the almond cake, and she took like 2 bites. She didn't want any more. Immediately, she just like faces Rob, and she's like, "Here, Rob," and she gives it to Rob. Like she knew that.
And
I
want to point out, I was nowhere near Marina. I was
like
6 people away from her.
She threw a post pattern to Rob,
and he just.
He was like a disposable.
But Rob, you had 2 desserts, and you're shaming me for giving my cannoli.
I was curious with the cannoli.
There was some like wild Charlie Day conspiracy graph network of desserts being passed around this table. It was fucking hilarious. It was like there was desserts going every direction. Here, have some of this. Here, putting it in each other's mouth.
Food was great.
It was. It was very good restaurant. Giovanni's. Give them a plug.
Yeah, on 8th Avenue and Prospect Avenue. Close to where the Grand Prosper Hall used to be, but no longer is.
What's there now, Rob? Anything
They're
or
building
still
condos? But it's nothing.
That's where the Bilderberg Group meets in the chapter of New York City.
I just thought it was like it was a very like New York moment. Also, after the meal when we went outside. Sorry, I know you had a comment there, but let me just finish my thought. Because Rob bumped into like someone that he knew immediately, and then as I was saying goodbye, actually as I was hugging Amy goodbye, I noticed sitting outside was a comedian who I've met like only like through online, like through Nikki.
Oh.
His name is Emil Wakim. He's really funny, and he lives in that neighborhood, and he was just out there. So I was like, no freaking way. So it was like the first time we had met in person.
That's awesome.
Oh.
It's the hub. It's the neighborhood hub.
I was just like, this feels like a movie.
There was a jazz band playing.
Yeah.
Darren, which movie did it feel like, since you're the film expert?
It felt like Out for Justice. We were all out on the Brooklyn Street. Everyone had a Steven Seagal accent. There's one guy Rob ran into who's like signing a book for this other guy. Hey, this is my book. Take a look at this thing. Yeah, this is my book. Here you go. You want to say who he was? I don't know if you want.
That guy looked like if Bill Apter just decided to tour with the Grateful Dead.
Yeah, exactly. Very nice guy, though. Very gregarious, like, talking to everybody. I like these Brooklyn people that just like hold court with everybody,
Yes.
Like,
yeah.
This guy over here, this guy over here, terrific. We go way back. This guy worked on my car 3 years ago.
Tree.
Just know everybody. You got a dent? I know a guy that bang that right out tomorrow. 2 hours.
It is true, though, that anytime you go anywhere with Rob in that neighborhood, he will run into someone he knows from metal or wrestling, and they all look exactly the same.
Yeah.
It's just variations on the exact same dude.
Or anywhere. I went to AEW with Rob, and we're standing in line, to get in after we had our tickets out, ready to go in the turnstile. This dude walks up. Hey, Rob, metal injection. Like, it happens constantly.
Very famous. We have a very famous friend.
Do you still correct them when they say metal injection, or it's just a piece of the past?
Them how?
And by correct them, do you tug on the leash that they're attached
work there anymore. I sold it. I'm independently wealthy now.
Oh, well, if they ask, I'm not going to give them the whole spiel. Typically, I'm just like, thanks, and then the conversation is over. I don't have to like.
That's true. You don't want to soil your hand.
But you definitely get recognized still.
Yeah. Even in a lot in the neighborhood actually.
In Denver, did you get recognized in Denver? It's not so much across state lines anymore.
Yeah, I recognize Grinder though. He's a celebrity on that.
The guy from the bathhouse recognized you.
I haven't been recognized on Grinder yet. Thankfully, that was always that always felt weird to think. Like if someone would be like,
"Hey, I know you. Metal injection, right? No, something else."
How would you feel if you were like pounding a dude as he told you how awesome your Guar interview was?
Oh my god!
Turn on for you?
It would be a boner killer, I think.
Oh no!
Because it would be like a little. It would throw me off.
Isn't that like ultimate topping? It's like telling you how great you are as you're.
Yes, but like in that particular moment, it would throw me off a little. Like if it was beforehand, I could probably deal with it better. Or
I'm going to give you a tougher.
Or like if we're cuddling after,
I'm going to give you a tougher Chuck Klosterman card. Okay, you ready?
Okay.
What would you do if you were pounding a guy, and he told you he read an article on metal injection, and they should really fire that guy?
That I would fuck him harder.
He didn't know it was you. He just was complaining about a band.
Oh, Shifty Shortcake has an interesting scenario. What if you're pounding away and he says he loved your article on lamb goat? That's a good question. I would be flattered.
Let Noah answer that one.
That's the right question. Wait, so lamb goat is not around either anymore?
He sold it to some guys, just some friends of his. Yeah, so it's still around. It's not Alex anymore. Friend of the show.
You know who he sold it to?
Posagini or whatever.
Oh, I thought he sold it to Gatan Dugas.
Oh no, he didn't. Gatan Dugas wasn't available, unfortunately.
Gatan Dugas.
And Metal Mofo, sadly, I don't think it's around anymore. I don't know what happened to Carlos.
It's still up. It's just not being updated.
Yeah. All right,
probably
Carlos.
The domain didn't expire yet, unlike the proprietor.
Oh my god.
Rob, what if you just bought that domain and you started running that site?
What if you bought Piercing Metal and like really spruced it up so that Ken Kears can have a career?
That's $89 USD.
Can't buy his Yelp account though. That's priceless. That's not on the market.
Yeah, so it's like the Mona Lisa. You can't put a number on.
How many Better Business Bureau reviews do you think he has or he has written? Because he's from like our parents' generation.
But he's fully on Yelp. He's a modern man.
Isn't he younger than everyone here? And he just
there's no way.
No way.
I thought he just acts like an old man. And he's
no.
I thought it was Rob's age.
No, he's got it. No,
he's almost getting Social Security. Like he's
really.
He's absolutely at least in his 50s.
I swear, I thought he was all of your age, and I was like the next step up.
No. He's been around.
Well, he's got that one avatar that looks like he's 35 and just a weird looking 35-year-old.
It's just frozen in time.
Yeah, it might be from when he was 35, but that's not.
Whoa, you could very easily find his address on Google. He needs to tighten that up.
Oh.
He's only a 10-minute walk from my apartment.
Don't encourage it.
You're giving people a lot of roadmaps to your apartments.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it could
Just
be in
walk
any
to-
direction. They don't know.
Right. Well, they're going to draw a compass point and just make a big circle and walk around that line. And
I never go outside, so they ain't seeing me. It's not fine.
What floor are you on?
5th.
Thank you. So just take your binoculars, look at every 5th floor window at his building.
Sid, what's your mother's maiden name and the last 4 digits of your social?
Just go around that area and look for the leaky refrigerator.
Oh, there you go.
No, we got that fixed. We got it replaced finally.
New strategy then.
I would have loved to have been there, like a fly on the wall, to see Sid like so mad yelling at another man.
I wasn't even that mad because it was just absurd. Like I thought for sure he wasn't taking me seriously. I was just being sarcastic.
How did you say it? Like, what was your tone?
Just very sarcastic. I was like, yeah, you know what it is? We did that. We had that leak happen on purpose because we think you're a fucking asshole. And like I thought I was saying it so obviously sarcastic, but also like even if I said it deadpan, like that's not a thing. People don't. Why would
you
I fuck
hate
up
your
my
neighbor
own
so
floor?
much? Yeah, exactly. You hate your neighbor so much that you would ruin your own apartment. Just to get
Well, you know what it is? When people do that, usually there's like a 2-second beat, and then they go, "Nah, I'm just fucking with you," and you just like stared at him with the dead
Well,
sit
that's
eyes.
the other thing. I didn't open the door because this was like I think before like vaccines were readily available. I don't trust that guy to.
Oh, so you did it through the door?
Yeah, I wasn't
open the door.
dignifying him with like opening the door. Fuck that.
That's definitely selling that.
But I have
serious.
had face-to-face confrontations with him also, pre-COVID.
Well,
but at that point, I wasn't opening the door for that guy.
He was writing those poems, which is the original COVID. So.
Oh my god.
Nothing drives people into social distancing more than that kind of shit.
Oof.
Did he ever like slip a poem under your door? Like an apology poem?
He would leave notes with the doorman to give me. He wouldn't even come to my door to leave the note. That was the first interaction when I told this story where I like had the flu real bad and I passed out in the middle of the night on the way back from the bathroom. And he left a note with the doorman the next day saying that, you know, he has to get up for work and whatever noise we were making woke him up.
Like you almost dying.
So I left a note at his door like a non-weirdo saying, yeah, that was my head hitting the floor because I passed out. But you'll be happy to know that I'm okay now. So it should be fine. I don't plan on passing out more.
Can you,
but everybody in the building hates him.
Deuterino just said, leave a trail of Entenmann's to a box trap.
That would work.
Entenmann's a local bakery in New York that has fine baked goods that are in every grocery store.
Is it only in New York?
I don't know. I'm
I
assuming
hope it's national.
I mean, Deuterino's like a culinary expert, so like he might know of it, and maybe that doesn't mean it's all the way in the West Coast, though.
I'm sure we've also mentioned it on the show before.
That's good. It's like
there's that iconic photo of Sid with the 2 boxes.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That's right.
That's good stuff. Darren, I feel like you had a story you wanted to share, a non-college class story.
Well, all right. So let me do a little backstory, a little explanation first. So I live in an apartment building, and on the side of the building there is a law office. Okay. And it has its own entrance. So then in the front, there's all the front door where if you live there, you go in there, you go to your apartment, you go home. But if you want to go to the law office, you got to go around the corner. Okay. So all the time, what happens is people come to this law office. They go in the front door. They look around for a half an hour. They don't know where the fuck they are. And then finally, somehow they figure it out. They go back outside and and by the way, I think it's like a Saul Goodman-y type thing because they all have either crutches or canes or some kind of neck brace or whatever.
I have a question, Darren.
Yeah.
Is the entrance to this law office like where they keep the trash? Like in the back of the building?
Close to it, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It was before it was a dentist. It's like it's been retail, like different, those types of things.
Yes,
dentist
yes.
office once, and now it's a law office for the past 10 years or so. So one day, this guy, he's looking around. This is months ago. He's looking around. He's about 6'7", black guy. He has a Nets hat on, Brooklyn Nets hat, and he's kind of limping on this cane.
Is it Blake Griffin? Sounds like Blake Griffin so far.
No, he's dark skinned, not
okay.
Blake. And I go, hey, what's up? What's going on? He's like, yeah, I'm looking for the law office. I said, oh, yeah, sure. You just go right out the door. Here, it's a little weird. You got to go around the corner. They're like, oh, thank you so much. Because people Google it and they see the address, my address, and they, of course, go in the front door. Right. Okay, so time passes. SpongeBob title card. All right. Now, this is maybe 2 weeks ago, a week ago. And there he is. And he's talking to somebody else. And he's got a cane. He's got a Nets hat, 6'7", and I remember that guy. And now he's asking somebody else, "Where's the law office?" Someone else that lives in my building. So I go, "Oh, that's weird," And then the person tells him. He goes, "Oh, okay." He walks outside. He comes around the corner, and I happen to be walking like sort of alongside him to go where I'm going. And I had to ask him, like, "Didn't I help you like find the law office a couple of months ago?" He goes, "No."
What? Heartbreak.
And he goes,
you remembered him, but he doesn't remember you?
He says, I've never been here before. So now I'm like, this guy now thinks I'm racist. This guy's gonna think I think all black people look alike. And I'm like, no, wait,
Darren,
hold on. No. And I can't say this because then he hasn't said anything to me. He just kind of looked at me like I was a weirdo. So I can't be like, no, I'm not racist. It's because you're 6'7", you have a cane, you have the exact same hat on as the other guy. It's not because you're black, but how can I even bring that up? So I just kind of slinked away. But now I'm thinking like this guy thinks I'm a huge fucking, like I'm in the Ku Klux Klan or something. Like
he has dementia.
Maybe.
maybe he was gaslighting.
Lewy body dementia. That's what he has. I know.
It could be. That's what Robin Williams had, right? He could have been fucking with me, like Sid said. That, like, you think that's possible?
He just didn't want to have a conversation, so he's just like, leave me alone.
Oh, wouldn't the quicker conversation be like, okay, thank you, even though he knew where no. The quicker conversation would be like, I guess that is the fastest way out of it, right? No.
Shifty Shortcake 3D going to change his name to 3K.
Yeah. I'm not. That guy might change my name to 3K. I was mortified. I was like, no, please. I felt like Larry David, Like, I was like, this is a total misunderstanding. Like, I think that's a reasonable, if that really wasn't him, isn't that a reasonable mistake to make? Like, it's clearly not race-based. I mean, they have the same characteristics entirely.
But, like...
And he's in the same situation doing the same exact
thing. But let's say it was him and he acknowledged that it was him. What do you think, where would that conversation have gone in your mind at that point?
I don't know. Maybe it was just dumb to even say anything, but I just thought it was such a weird thing. And I have the flaw, I think, of over connecting with people. Like when an interesting situation happens in life,
like had a moment.
I say something to the person and then maybe we have a little chat for 2 seconds and I go on my way. But there's sometimes people don't even want to acknowledge you exist.
Yeah.
And so, like, I think that's a flaw in my life. Like a lot of people want to stay in their holes and just don't want to. Like, if I didn't know Sid and I did that to him, he'd probably be like, "This person's get away from me." I'm sad to even have to be outside right now.
Also, you got to figure, like, a guy with a cane and he's going to see the lawyer. That's probably not his best moment.
Sure, you're right.
Like bad, sad shit he's about to have to deal with. Most likely. I don't
deny it, but he had a big smile on his face both times. So, if it was the same guy, I mean, both gentlemen had the same. Seemed very happy.
Do you think he just didn't want to talk to you, and that was just like his way of just like blowing you off? Maybe.
This is a total conundrum to me. That's why all these unanswered questions suddenly.
But also, like, are you? I think you are projecting the idea that he thought you were racist.
Right. I completely agree with that.
Yeah, like that's all on you. And I think that by even beginning to acknowledge it would then put you in the, oh, why are people like, my shirt says I'm not a racist, and yet people constantly are coming up to me and asking me if I'm racist?
That's why I didn't say anything. What was the first thing out of my mouth? I said, I can't say that. This is what I started worrying about.
So it's fine. It's fine.
Oh yeah, I know I didn't handle it in a racist way. I'm just saying, like, I don't even like to even be a possibility of a thought.
I had a moment like that, a very similar moment like that as well. It was actually at the airport. It was when I was returning from
The airport.
The airport.
Was it Newark?
It was JFK. I was returning from Amsterdam, and look, Papa's popping up. He's on the couch.
Oh,
There she is.
Oh, Rob had the Bobka cam on at the dinner last night.
Yeah,
he had a security cam in his house watching the dog.
What? You didn't show me. You didn't show me.
Oh, he was showing everybody what she was doing.
She was just sleeping mostly. She's like, I'm out.
Cutest dog.
So I was at the airport, and here's a hot tip, folks. When you're at the airport, a lot of these the major international airports, they have this mobile ID, this mobile passport app that you can download, and you answer all the questions on the app as opposed to filling out the piece of paper. And by having the app, it essentially allows you to skip the whole line. However, here's the problem.
Wait, skip what line?
The
shoe checking line?
No, the immigration line. No.
Oh,
when you
so
come
this
in,
is only
customs. Customs. He means customs.
Yeah, customs. Thank you. Sorry, I couldn't think of the word.
This is
customs.
only international.
Only international. So I'm at the I'm at customs, at U.S. Customs, trying to get back in the country, and we're at the front of this line. But there is a bureaucratic nightmare in that the mobile ID line and then the line for flight attendants or pilots and diplomats are all being funneled into one customs officer.
Okay.
Where they should be two separate customs officers. And the flight workers and diplomats get super priority. They all have to go through first before. And it ends up where it's like we're standing there where we could have gone to the regular customs line and been through it at this point. And I'm like, and this is already after a 7-hour flight. I'm just fucking impatient. I just want to go fucking home and take a shower, much like you are, Noah, right now, I'm sure. And like we're sitting there, like there's all of these employees that go through, and then just like regular people are going through. And I lose my mind. And I'm like, excuse me, do you have a pass? And like this guy looks at me. And it's a Kenyan diplomat.
Oh,
and I am mortified. I'm exactly your reaction, Darren. Of like, oh my, why did I single this
you're being
guy
a
out?
Karen.
Of all the people, why did I single this guy out? Oh my God, he must think I'm so free. I was
wow.
Sorry. But I will say, my Karen moment did create enough of a hubbub where the head of customs brought another customs officer just to deal with
to
the
appease
mobile entry
your
people.
white privilege.
Yes. And Shifty Shortcake was like, Robbie, don't you know I'm Robert Passabini or whatever? I basically pulled that. I was like, come on, I really just wanted to go home.
I've got wrestling gossip to write about. Let's go.
It's 7 hours that I hadn't smoked weed. I've just been in Amsterdam, so I've been high the whole time. You can't blame. I was very, very, very cranky, but it was very awkward. The look the diplomat gave me of like, what word?
What did he say? How did you find out?
He didn't say a word.
So how did you know he was a Kenyan diplomat?
Somebody else was like, oh no, that's a diplomat.
I thought you were just really on top of Kenya-U.S. relations.
Yeah,
the you could see with his passport that it had an emblem of a.
You inspected the man's passport when you snatched it out of his hand?
No, he had it in his hand.
Let me see that.
Yeah, Rob had to make sure.
This is a forgery.
No! You're holding up the line for this.
You keep digging yourself deeper, Rob. Stop.
Right, I'll stop. You're right.
Yeah, it made my story seem tame by comparison.
We already forgot about your story, Darren. This one's so inflammatory.
Good.
I was with Marina and she was like, "Oh no, it's okay, it's fine."
That's typically a thing our friend Marina would do.
Really? She Karenish?
She doesn't even realize it. With her, it's all very. I don't know. She just doesn't have a filter, or she doesn't think about like those kind of implications. I think because she's not originally from here, some of those subtleties are lost on her, and sometimes it has either awkward or hilarious implications.
But she's been here for like 30 years, though.
But there's still certain things that she just, I don't know, just does not pick up on. And it's fantastic every time. It's hilarious. Mostly it's like in conversations with us, she's not actually doing it to like a specific person.
What's an example? Oh, my gosh. If you don't want to call her out.
I don't know. I feel
What did she say about the new Mermaid movie?
I haven't talked to her about that. I should have.
She didn't have a take. She didn't have a take.
She's not a fan of the wokesters.
But yeah, let's see. I guess we just we're almost out of time, folks. Israeli guy did send us these two links that I wanted to share really quickly before we get out of here. This one thing, the way he was like saying, "Wow, the things you could buy in America." And it's this or Hebrew tweet, I should say. Let me share the screen. And here it is. So in Hebrew, it says, "Now I want to go back to the me before knowing that such a thing existed." Oh. And what it is fake prosthetic feet, like the front half of the feet with the toes.
Yeah.
And it's like a glove.
Yeah. To put over your actual feet.
Yes. And it says, "Do you want to be fashionable, but also dress zunzig?" Is that like, no, be like a prude, like be reserved?
Kosher, I guess, modest.
Yeah.
No, what does that mean?
That's in Yiddish. I don't speak Yiddish.
Oh. Yeah. Do you want to look stylish, but would never wear open-toe shoes? Now available, prosthetic toes for open-toe shoes. Jesus.
Okay,
Be in
how
style,
many guys?
But still in Hashem's favor.
How many guys have bought those just to like?
Oh my God, that's the
them?
only people buying those.
You're so right. I love this line is gonna stick with me forever. Be in style, but still in Hashem's favor. Hashem doesn't like style, but he'll let this one pass.
Oh
so wild. Should we get some? Maybe buy a few pairs to send to some Livecast fans?
What?
As like gifts?
I feel like if Rob bought one of those, it would just fit over like 3 of your toes.
Well, there's different sizes. I'm sure there's some gigantic Hebrew women that need extra larges.
So you can't show your toes in open-toe shoes, but you can show fake toes?
Yeah, like, so I was actually talking about like my dad.
Thing, yeah, sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to quickly say, like, isn't the whole thing of being modest to like not turn men on? Like, won't those toes like turn men on?
Yeah, if you're from afar, you're not going to notice until you inspect it closely.
Yeah, so my dad recently took up vaping, tobacco, nicotine, not weed, unfortunately. And so what, he is a very selective religious Jew.
He just he does the menu approach. He just picks
and chooses. So like, but he'll observe the Sabbath by not using fire, but he's addicted to smoking cigarettes. So, for a long time, he wouldn't smoke for a whole day. And it was very difficult for him because, you're not supposed to use fire. He'll watch TV, though. Yom Kippur, he doesn't use electricity. Non-Yom Kippur, electricity is okay. But now, so vaping is like his workaround on the Sabbath to smoking. And I'm just like, who are you tricking? Like, doesn't in your universe of rules, in these rules of this book that you follow, wouldn't God be onto you? Like, isn't he aware of what you're doing?
I know exactly the suggestion for you. And so how many of those like Orthodox families have tried that with a hot plate and left it on
and burned down the house?
And burned down the house?
Yeah. So that's because Hashem wanted that to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Well, warn your father.
Oh, so you're saying God is vengeful? He might
yes.
His hot
He might.
plate, his
He's gonna
explode?
inhale and that vape pen will explode. Exactly.
He's mad that we weren't Jewish enough. That's why he let the Holocaust happen and hot plates burn down houses.
In Midwood.
Rob, you made a great point, which is that, like, forget about what you said is valid, but let's put that to the side about tricking God. All right, let's just say you believe in this book. The whole point is you believe that the rules are correct, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So either you believe that or you don't. So do it. If you believe it, do it. Why are you evading it? The whole point is you think that I'm not picking on your father. Lots of people.
Be a man. No, you pick on him. Go ahead. Shove him around.
Come on, Papa Rabba.
Break his back and make him humble.
Oh my God.
Humble. Rob, go to
There is that pic with Rob and his dad and the Iron Sheik, so.
Oh yeah. My dad.
Possible.
Sheik burned out with my dad hardcore. They spoke Farsi to each other.
Wow.
Very nice.
It was very adorable.
How many Americans can say they spoke Farsi to the Iron Sheik?
Not many. Israeli guy also shared this incredible piece of propaganda of disinformatia from Russia. So I guess there's a tourism video trying to convince people to come visit Russia, and it almost seems like parody. So let's take a quick look before we get out of here.
Yeah.
This is Russia. Delicious cuisine.
Yeah.
Beautiful women.
Right, that was
cheap
little
gas. Rich history. World famous literature.
It's true.
Unique architecture.
True.
Fertile soil.
Oh,
Okay.
well then.
Cheap electricity and water.
What?
Ballet.
Okay.
Cheap taxi and delivery.
Wait, what?
Traditional values.
Wait, what?
Christianity.
Oh, hold on.
No cancel culture. Hospitality. Vodka. Economy that can withstand thousands of sanctions. Time to move to Russia.
Time to move to Russia.
Don't delay. Winter is coming.
And you want to spend it in Russia?
Is that a threat? What was that?
I think
That's so ominous.
the point is, if you're going to Russia, you got to get there before winter to secure shelter because you're going to be stuck there for 6 months.
God
What
damn.
an ad.
Beautiful thinly sliced onion.
What is that?
What's going on here?
Somebody
Hey.
cooking eggs?
Is that like someone frying an egg on a cooking
Yeah.
show?
Yeah,
What
I
is
think
that?
just Facebook autoplayed another video. That was weird. But yeah, when are we moving to Russia?
Well,
No
Dusty's
cancel
told.
culture
Yeah.
and ability to withstand thousands of sanctions. Take
mean-
that, Iran.
Tell Pussy Riot that there's no cancel culture in Russia.
Yeah.
Tell Brittany Griner.
Well, that's not cancel culture. That's anti-drug culture.
I
It's
mean,
authoritarianism.
yeah. It's a kind of canceling. It's canceling with teeth.
It's fair. So we are gonna wrap it up, but I do want to mention Patreon. We have a really fun bonus episode up right now. We just posted earlier this week where we go diving deep on penile implants and their validity. We read some horror stories of people who regret getting it.
Ooh.
It was intense. And beyond that, we roast a Brooklyn politician. So it's really the best of both worlds. Patreon.com/RIP Livecast. $5 a month gets you access. And also, if you want to support us, but don't want to give us any money, hey, it's totally fine. Hang out with us on our Discord, RIPLivecast.com. You can have the invite right there. Discord is a chat app, and you can just hang out with us. We're there all the time. What are we going to say, Sid? What does RIP stand for?
RIP stands for Rotten Tomatoes Internet Plagiarism. But don't forget the playlist. Don't forget the playlist.
Oh, yes, that's right. We have a Spotify playlist where we always pick a bunch of songs. It's called the RIPL Livecast Music Break. And every week we each add a song. And this week, the song that I picked, what did I pick here? Oh, I picked the Demu Burger song.
Oh.
Interdimensional Summit. I put them on recently, and I'm like, man, this song really goes hard. It's great.
Oh, it's
Sid,
interesting.
what did you pick?
Oh, go ahead.
No, go
I
ahead.
had a
Dan.
segue into what I picked.
Oh,
Yeah,
good.
go ahead.
Similar.
Good, Darren.
You picked a song about interdimensional space travel, and so did I, because I played an Earth, Wind, and Fire song called Jupiter.
Oh,
which is about a man who encounters an alien being who has materialized from the planet Jupiter and teaches him about love and happiness. So I recommend everyone to listen to all of Earth, Wind, and Fire's back catalog, but especially that song.
We celebrate their entire catalog.
They're one of the few bands with multiple drummers. Not a thing you see very often.
The original Slipknot.
Yeah.
Also, I believe Dave Grohl admitted that the drum fill in "Smells Like Teen Spirit" he stole from an Earth, Wind, and Fire song. Sid, what did you pick?
I picked the song "Minor Threat" by the band Minor Threat because it popped into my head the other day, and it's a good song, and I've never put a Minor Threat song on the playlist before.
We're not a minor threat.
No, we're just.
We're just.
Yeah,
that's right. We're just a minor threat. We're just.
You got most
minor
of
threat. That's
how
how
it's doing.
We're just.
That's exactly how it sounds. It's uncanny. I thought a recording was playing.
A minor threat. Noah, do you have a song you want us to throw up in the playlist?
Yeah.
Yes, I do. The other day, the song "I Don't Want to Be Me" came on from Type of.
Oh, classic.
Oh, did I lose you? No,
you're there.
We're here.
And I played, and I was like in the car, driving by myself, with the windows down, just having my moment. And then I had to like play it like a couple of times. So I want to like pass that along to the next person. It's a fucking great song.
Excellent. We'll throw that in there.
I just did.
Whoa, Sid is on top of it.
We aren't fucking around.
And of course, we want to hear from you. Email us, riplivecast@gmail.com.
Minor Threat by Minor Threat.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Sorry, Rob.
It's okay. We got another email. Somebody sent a link about the latest. Like we were joking about all these places paying tribute to Her Majesty the Queen.
Mm-hmm.
And there's this gay sauna called Pleasure Dome that is closing. It says the staff and management of Pleasure Dome Spa joined together in expressing their sense of deep sadness and loss at the passing of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II.
Queens respect queens.
In accordance with the government guidance and advice, Pleasure Dome Spa will remain open on Monday, September 19th. As a mark of respect to Her late Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, no music will be played within the spa and no films will be shown.
Oh, so they're not actually closing.
They're not going to show any porn.
But come schwitz your pain away.
The cinema and main screen will show live events around Her Majesty's funeral throughout the day. And, oh, my God. Yes.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say that queen respect goes in one direction there.
Oh, yeah, I think so.
Probably not a big fan of the other type of queen. Elizabeth wasn't.
Unless it's Elton John.
Yeah, sure. Select few queens, maybe.
Yeah.
She can overlook it.
If we talked about the Patreon, and if you want to throw us a few extra bones, $10 a month gets you a top Livecast fan recognition, and you get a shout out at the end of the show, which is right now. How should we do it?
Do it and in the voice of the Kenyan diplomat you offended. I'm sure that won't be problematic.
Just silence. Just silence the whole top live. Here we go.
Don't go there. Just gas.
That's it. That was it. That was it. That's how I remember it.
You said Austin Powers still holds up. Do it as Austin Powers.
Okay.
And Dr. Evil.
Ooh, okay.
Do I make you horny, Eric?
Oh,
do I?
This is Rob in high school all over again. This is literally what it was like hanging out with Rob in college. Correct.
Days.
1 million Benjamins.
This reminds me of that bus ride.
Oh, no.
El Judarino ham sandwich.
Where's your pinky?
Well, that was in Austin Powers. Let's see. What are some other...
Do mix it with Dr. Evil, too. Yeah. That was your best impression.
Dan R., all I want is sharks with some frickin' laser beams on their heads. Sam, I am. Why don't you zip it? Shh, zip it.
This is his calling.
Mini mayors, come up.
But Dad,
Other gender. Buganushike Justin.
Cattle decaf. It smells like I took a crap on top of another crap.
Oh, how did I forget about a fat bastard?
You know when you're on an apartment building and you smell rubber vampiro, Hugo likes tacos and Landa danks? That plus crap.
Oh, I was going to do Hugo when I like tacos. Tacos when I like Hugo. That was going to be...
Well, now we have to charge him double this week because you just shouted him out twice. Sorry, Hugo.
Corn and Scotty H, yeah, baby, yeah!
I think you forgot LaCroix, but I said it, so there we go.
Let's say it's sexily
mother, that's Doug Pigman, baby, yeah. There we go. I took a problematic line, and I made it a Patreon plug. Then,
Thanks for having me.
Wait, he's not done.
One more.
Oh.
Just taking really long pauses.
No, that's the Livecast listener. Thanks for having me.
Douglas, who are you, Levison? Who are you? Who are you? And who does number 2 work for? And hey, guys, it's Josh. Okay, that's
did you say Doug Pigman? Because I was going to say, allow Doug Pigman to introduce Doug Pigman.
No, mine was, that's not your mother. That's Doug Pigman, baby.
Sorry. See, it was
now
so
we're gonna
problematic.
Triple charge him. Jeez.
Oh, well.
But Noah, thank you so much for interrupting your busy airport time.
I'm so glad my flight got delayed, just so that I could be here. See?
Now you see? 4 hours.
Do you see what Hashem gives us?
It's because you don't have your toes exposed.
My toes are covered.
And because you didn't light a hot plate yesterday.
Yes, exactly.
But thank you so much. Safe travels. If you're in New York Airport, say hi to Noah.
It was so fun to see you guys, and I want to tell the RIP Livecast listeners, these guys are always talking about like the Discord, and they love to hear from you, and they talk about you more than they talk about me. And
it is
sorry, not sorry.
Over dinner last night, me and Darren did have an actual in-depth discussion about Dusty Rhodes' muffler.
Yes,
like for real.
Some insider information.
Only good things. We only said good things, Dusty. Don't worry.
I can confirm.
What bad is there to say?
Oh.
All right. Well, thank you all for tuning in, and we'll be back next Saturday. Bye, Noah.
Bye, friends.